Here we go, let's go over the movie Beetlejuice. Adam and Barbara are happily discussing their vacation. They are both appreciating the tung oil and thinking about how to spend the time working on their home. Adam and Barbara continue their conversation about their friend Helen, who got the tung oil for them in Oslo. They talk about maintaining their furniture using it. They express happiness about spending their vacation at home. Adam wonders about a package Barbara has gotten for him. They are both excited about it. Barbara mentions how glad she is that they are spending their vacation at home. The couple hears a knock on the door. Adam goes to answer it but lets Barbara take over instead. Jane arrives to talk to Barbara about a potential buyer for their house. Barbara asserts they're on a vacation and are not interested in selling. Jane mentions an offer of $260,000 from someone in New York who has only seen a photograph of the house. Barbara is upset Jane sent photos of their home to potential buyers without asking. Barbara is visibly upset as Jane implies the house is too big for just Adam and her. They dismiss Jane and continue with their plans for their vacation. Adam is telling Barbara more about the offer on the house and how Jane felt strongly about selling it. They both decide not to entertain the idea and head to the store for supplies. Barbara and Adam discuss Jane's suggestion to sell the house again while driving. Adam assures Barbara that Jane's opinion doesn't matter. Adam and Barbara greet people in the town. They have a small chat with Ernie and Bill, their neighbors, about Adam's model and how life has been. Adam and Barbara continue their usual day. Adam shares some historical facts with Barbara about the town foundation built by Bosman in 1835. After an accident, Adam and Barbara return home soaked. They notice the fire was not burning when they left. Barbara feels her arm is frozen from the cold. Barbara starts making some coffee while Adam goes to get wood for the fire. They both feel something strange about how they got back home. Adam shows Barbara the mysterious handbook titled Handbook for the Recently Deceased. They both don't understand where it came from but are intrigued by its content. Adam and Barbara start reading from the handbook, which has difficult language like stereo instructions. They begin to suspect that they might not have survived the crash. Adam and Barbara examine the strange book in detail. They read sections about the geographical and temporal perimeters, which adds to their confusion. We see Beetlejuice, referred to as Beetlejuice, for the first time. He looks at a picture of the Maitlands and thinks they look nice and stupid, ready for him to take advantage of them. Barbara expresses her frustration over not being able to clean properly since they can't leave the house. She feels like it's beginning to affect her mental state. Barbara attempts to communicate with Jane from the window but realizes Jane cannot see or hear her. Adam confirms from the book that the living usually won't see the dead. Adam acknowledges their dire situation, confirming to Barbara that they are indeed dead. They try to strategize but are still unsure about their next steps. Adam and Barbara discuss their predicament. Adam reads the book and realizes they are ghosts. He encourages Barbara to use her talents to deal with the current inhabitants. The Dietzes continue their plans to remodel the house. Otho and Delia show little regard for what the previous owners might have wanted, leading to more tension. Adam and Barbara, now recognizing their ghostly abilities, try to haunt the new inhabitants but are frustrated by the lack of visible effect. They decide to take direct action. Beetlejuice, the bio-exorcist, actively promotes his services through a commercial. He promises to eliminate pesky living critters for any ghost in need. Adam finds an emergency procedure in the book. Following its instructions, he draws a door on the wall which miraculously opens, offering a potential solution. Juno, their caseworker, advises them they have to handle the Dietzes on their own. She explains the principles of haunting and insists they have the power within themselves. Charles Dietz is in a conversation with Maxie Dean, trying to convince him to invest in their property project. Maxie remains skeptical about the location and value proposition. Lydia attempts to inform Delia and Charles about the ghosts, but they dismiss her. Frustrated, Lydia tries to drive home the seriousness of their haunting problem. Charles and Delia, along with Otho, force their way into the attic despite Lydia's protests. They seek proof of the ghosts and are determined to uncover their hiding spots. Beetlejuice gets agitated and confronts Adam and Barbara for interrupting him while working. He expresses his anger and distrust towards them. Lydia writes a dramatic farewell letter revealing her wish to join Adam and Barbara in death. She plans to jump off the Winter River Bridge. As the film concludes, we see Lydia has adjusted to her new life. Adam helps with her schoolwork, and Barbara takes a maternal role, bringing harmony to the living and the dead. The film ends with a humorous moment between Lydia and the Maitlands. Lydia gets an A on her math test and is rewarded with a supernatural surprise.